Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to Mower Mike. I am riding a high because I am on top of probably the most expensive lawnmower I've ever had in the shop. We got ourselves a newish Gravely Pro Turn Commercial 148 with a Kawasaki FX691V engine on it, and she is one sweet ride. But just got some problems. It's been sitting for a little while, and it's chugging, it's coughing, it only runs on choke, it's backfiring. So 95% of the time when that is happening, what is going on, you've got yourself a clog in the old carburetor because you're letting it sit with ethanol gas in it. And even over 30 days, it starts clogging up these little jets. So on this one, this is an FX series. Now Kawasaki makes an FX series and an FR series. FR is in rabbit. On the FX series, I opened the carb and it is full of plastic parts, makes it very hard to rebuild. It is a junk carb. So on this series, I'm gonna just go ahead and suggest you replace the carburetor. I've got a $37 carburetor off Amazon. It worked great. And I'll put a link below. So this video is gonna show you how to replace it. You'll see a little bit of me actually struggling taking it apart. Maybe some cursing I had to bleep out. But again, on the FX series, I suggest you replace the carburetor. Now, for you that own the non-commercial version, which I think is the better engine, the FR series, I suggest you just go ahead and clean it because it does not have all the plastic crap inside the carburetor. I'll put a link to a video below where I was able to clean it out, and it's just one big jet. It runs much, much better. So if any of you disagree, let me know, leave comments, but let's go ahead and get on with the show of me swapping out a carburetor. Yes, get excited. You are in luck because I've got an amazing bird's eye view looking down the back end of this Kawasaki, and we're going to do a quick video on how to remove this carburetor. If you have a Kawasaki like this, you are in luck because this is one of the easiest carburetors of all time to remove. Because first of all, you don't have a bunch of guards back here, you don't have an engine cover, and it's just really, really simple. First thing you want to do is unhook the hoses. So over here, you're going to see that is the fuel line. Off down here, they're going to see a vent hose that goes to the fuel tank. Here is your breather hose that goes to the engine. That'll pull off once we pull it back, but you want to go ahead and unhook it. And then up top, I've already unhooked the big hose. Now, there is one small little tricky part to this whole thing. If you look back here, you're going to see a plastic clip and a spring. Now that is the throttle. To unhook it, first of all, unhook the spring. In this plastic clip, what you do, you just pull it backwards. Should be able to. Come on. See, when you pull it backwards, it just pulls that off. So that's what holds it in there. Just make sure not to lose that plastic clip. Then come over here, you're gonna unhook this. That goes to your choke. Try not to lose that. And also make sure to unhook this guy here. This is the stopper, prevents it from backfiring. All right, so I think we've got everything unhooked for the carburetor. One thing you're gonna have to notice over here, there's a screw that holds this whole contraption on. You're gonna need to take that off. And I am using the DeWalt Impact. It works great for these tasks. And then in theory, it should just be these 4 screws. Try not to lose the little washers, oh, no, all right, so that comes off there. That's your ground wire. Then these are your main screws going to the engine. And you're gonna pull off the throttle bracket and just let it hang off to the side a little bit. Come on. Oh. I have done this quite a bit, and I love these new Kawasaki carburetors. They are so simple. All right, and you pull off that guy. In theory, it should pull off. She's a little stuck on there, them gaskets. Oh, buddy. I did not want to buy new gaskets, but it looks like I'm going to have to buy some new gaskets. But you can see right there, it just slides off, and then we've got a carburetor. So let's get this over to the desk and do a little work on her. All right, folks, we got the carburetor pulled off the Kawasaki. Now, usually I like to go ahead and pressure wash the engine before I pull them off. I did not do that this time, so it took a lot of carb spray, some scrubbing, and around, did a little gasket scraping with this bad boy here. These Scotch-Brite pads on a drill do amazing. I'll put links below to all the tools. All right, so we got a good clean carburetor on the outside, and the first thing we do is we open her up. This thing is like a bad Christmas present. You never know what you're gonna get. Now, these Kawasaki's just have 2 screws right here. The bowl's gonna pop up. That's how we're gonna get access to our problem. Now, these screws can be really tight, so I like to use my little impact here and just popping them like so. All right. You honestly, you never know what you're gonna find in here. I have found all sorts of things going on in carburetor bowls. You can tell the status of an engine real quick. All right. Oh, come on, be easy with me. Easy. You really don't want to rip the carburetor bowl gasket. As you can see, this guy here is hanging on a little bit. All right, we got it off clean. You can see right there, we got a fairly clean deal. And this guy here, all you do is you pull it out. Voila. And so what we're going to do, we're going to clean out these 2 holes right here. These are most likely your culprits. I like to use a little bit of carb spray in there. Let's see if we can get a shot going back through the other way. There we go. Interesting. All right, so we got that clean, and then we're going to go into these holes here, clean these guys out. Yeah, and usually the only issue is some of these little orifices get clogged up. So all I do, I'm going to go through all of them, clean them, go through all the holes, clean the inside here, and that should be it, really. And hopefully we don't bend any gaskets. That way I can just use the stock parts, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. Okay, I thought I'd strap this carb back together, but I have been struggling. I hate these carburetors with all this plastic in it. Usually they should be a metal jet, but as you can see right here, you've got 2 jets pressed into plastic. And this whole thing is plastic, and it's got this little gasket here, and as soon as this thing gets carb cleaner on it, it does not want to fit. They expand. So I'm trying to shove this thing on here. I just wanted to let y'all know I have a lot of doubts because I can't get it to fit back in there. Is it kind of wibbly wobblies? Like it's not pressing down in there. I have never successfully rebuilt one of these carburetors. So just letting you know, we may be setting up for pretty big failure on this one. All right, so that goes that way or this way. And I'm inspiring a lot of confidence right now. Let's look at the new one. Yeah, so this goes this way. See, the problem is there's so many little fittings on here. See, and this thing here is supposed to fit into here. So maybe I need to put this in here. God, this is some flimsy crap. All right, let me see. All right, that feels a little better. See, another problem here, this plastic, when it expands just a little bit, those jets tend to fall out of there, which is always an issue. All right, let me see here. All right, I'm just gonna cinch down the, man, that is not gonna work. Ugh, I freaking hate these carbs. Screw this damn thing. I'm done with it. All right, so our solution to the choke is gonna be a brand new carburetor. So I'm just gonna forget this damn thing. And let's see, I'm gonna break this off. There we go. Break that off. We're gonna shove that on here, right? And then we're gonna throw a couple of gaskets on here. We're gonna strap it on, I swear. Hang on here. All right, kids, let's see if we can get our new $37 Amazon carburetor on here after I gave up on the other carb. First thing you'll notice, I did clean off your intake surface. That's very important because that gasket's a little iffy. And the carburetor kit came with new gaskets. It actually came with this metal piece on Briggs that slides between here, but this one, the original, did not have that piece on there. So we're gonna just slide on these couple of gaskets like so. All right, and then you just slide your carburetor on here. And the first thing I like to do, I like to go ahead and hook up your connections here before you get all your extra stuff on there. So you just pull that one up just a little bit and it'll slide in there. Come on, like so, and then it just snaps. And don't forget your springy. The springy goes on the plastic piece. There's a little hook right there. And then this guy here, well, we can mess with that one later. That's the important one. All right. Now let's get our intake on there, like so. Remember your breather tube slides into that hole there. Yep. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and cinch on the rest of the little clamps later. Next, let's go ahead and bolt her home. Now, most of the torque settings, you should Google what the torque settings are on these. I think they're around 10 to 15 foot-pounds. They're not a whole lot, but you want to make sure they're tight. Now, I don't have patience for that, so I'm just going to rip on this. Whoa, hang on. And that should be tight. Alrighty, next let's go ahead and remember this guy we took off. We need to put it back on like so. Uh-oh, screwed up. Before you do these two left guys, told you I am no professional at this. We need to get this on here because that is what holds it. Yep. All right, that should make our job a little easier. All right, now we're cooking. And then we can get this little guy over here. Oh, shit. All right, well, I'll get that later. All right, and then remember this little guy here snaps on so. Don't forget your electrical connection, which I totally forgot. It plugs in. And then our ground wire is right there. All right. Boom, boom. Come on. All right, so you got your ground, you got your ground wire right there. You've got your spring right there. Make sure it's on the little lip. There's a little indention on there. You've got your throttle right there. Everything's fitting up real nice here. And then over to your left, make sure to hook up your fuel line. That's gonna be your nipple here. And then off the side here, you're gonna see another little nipple. That's your, what is that? That's the vent line to the gas tank. And that is it. You're gonna go ahead and put the big fatty over here for your air filter, but I'm gonna go ahead and just test it like so. So let's see if this actually works. I have my doubts. All right, folks, we got everything strapped up for a test run. And boy, I got my fingers crossed because if I broke the church's new mower, that is not gonna look too good on Sunday morning. All right, let's see. We got the choke up. Oh, here we go. Come on, baby, do it for me. Uh-oh. Listen to that. Listen to that. I tell you what, that new Amazon is making this sucker purr. So I totally suggest if you have one of these FX or FR series mowers, just buy the new carburetor. I'll put links below on my tool store. I'm actually going to start a carburetor section. So if you have a different model engine, I'll put different Amazon carbs that have worked with me in the past. So, all right, ready to get back to the church house. Check y'all next week.